Hi everyone! I hope you're all really well and that you are ready to do some yoga and some mindfulness today. Okay, now we are going to be doing some mindful eating at the end of our session. So at the end you will need to go and find something to grab to do our mindful eating with. Okay, now I've got some chocolate with me, but maybe you might want to grab a biscuit or a piece of fruit or a piece of carrot stick, whatever you'd like. Okay, it doesn't matter what you're eating, it's just going to be something small. So that's what you will need, but not until the end of the session. Okay, so when you're ready, I'd like you to come on down to the floor or your mat into our good sitting pose. So our legs are crossed, our backs are straight, shoulders are down, a nice relaxed comfortable pose. And you might like to either rest your hands on your knees or turn them up so that your palms are facing up to the ceiling. Okay, now what we're going to do for our breathing today is some holding the breath and some shoulder shrugs at the same time. So we're going to be moving our shoulders up as we breathe in through our nose, and then we're going to move our shoulders down as we breathe out of our mouth. And we're going to breathe in through our nose for a count of 3 and hold our breath for 2 seconds, and then we're going to see if we can breathe out for a count of 4. Okay, so when you're ready, I want you to breathe in through your nose for me and lift those shoulders up. Hold your breath here, and now breathing out for a count of 4 as you put your shoulders down. Excellent, ready? So big deep breath in for a count of 3. So hopefully your shoulders are up by your ears now. Hold your breath here, and then out. Excellent, ready? Big deep breath in. Hold your breath, and out. Good, 4 more here, ready? Big deep breath in. And hold, and out. And big deep breath in. And hold, and out. Good, big deep breath in. And holding our breath, good, and then out. Big deep breath in. Hold it here. And out. Good, then one more for luck. Ready? Big deep breath in. Hold it here. And out. Fantastic, excellent. So hopefully you're starting to already feel a little bit relaxed. You've had a really lovely shoulder stretch and opening out your backs and your shoulders. And now we're going to move on to our sun sequence to warm up our whole body. So when you're ready, coming to the bottom of your mat with me, and we're going to go through my turn, your turn. Okay, ready? Stick. Hands. Reach to the sun. Elephant. Proud horse. Dog. Cobra. Dog. Proud horse. elephant. Reach to the sun. Hands and back to stick or strong mountain pose. Excellent. Okay, we're going to have a quick game of that what's missing in our sun sequence. So I'm going to do the sun sequence and you're going to copy it as normal, but I'm going to miss out one of the poses from it. I want you to miss it out with me, and then at the end shout at your screens or call out which pose it was you think I missed out. So really concentrating. Are you ready? Stick. Hands. Reach to the sun. Elephant. Proud horse. Dog. Cobra. Dog. Elephant. Reach to the sun. Hands. Stick. Okay, good job. Now, which pose was it that I missed out from our sun sequence? Excellent. Hopefully you're all calling out the second proud horse. I didn't do the second one on the way back up from the sun sequence, did I? Fantastic. Okay, now you will spot today in our session one of my plant friends. So because it's a little bit too cold to do yoga outside with you, I've brought some of the outside in. I really love having plants in my home, in different rooms, because I love being outside in nature, but I also love to bring nature indoors. And I think they help purify the air in the room that we are in, and they help me to feel calm and relaxed. Okay, so while we can't be outside doing yoga because it's a bit cold, I'm going to bring some of the nature inside. And then when the weather's warmer, we can do some yoga outside. Okay, so moving on to our poses this week. We have got 5 new poses. Some of them you will know, some of them you might not know. So I want you to watch carefully, have a go at home and join in with them, and then we're going to play a yoga game. Okay, so our first pose we are going to have a go at is called Warrior One. So for Warrior One, we're going to take a big step forward down our mat with one leg, and we're going to bend that front leg. Our back leg stays straight, so we're coming into a nice deep lunge. And we need to make sure that our knee doesn't go over our front toes. Okay, so bending it, but not so far that it goes over those toes. And we're going to bring our arms up straight with our fingers pointing to the ceiling. Good. And holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Okay, and then we're going to change legs to make sure we stretch out both legs, both sides, nice and evenly. Okay, holding our Warrior One. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good job. Okay, so that's Warrior One. And now we're going to move on to Warrior Two. So Warrior Two, our legs are nice and wide. Okay, so we're taking our legs really nice and wide. And we're going to turn one leg so that it's facing the front of our mat. And our back leg, we're going to turn that foot to the side. So the foot at the front of our mat is facing the front, And then the back foot is facing the side. Good. And we're going to bend that front leg again, keeping our back leg straight. But this time we're going to bring our arms up nice and straight into our warrior pose. And we're going to look down that front arm. Now we want to make sure we're not being pulled forward, so try and keep your stomach and your chest in the middle, nice and upright. Good. And holding it here for 5. Try not to let those arms drop. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Excellent. Now we're going to go straight into warrior 2 on the other side. So I'm just going to move along my mat slightly. Good. So now this leg is facing forwards and this foot and legs facing to the side. Good. Bending that front knee. Coming into that nice deep stretch in our legs, hopefully feeling our leg muscles working hard and stretching. Arms coming up, looking down that front arm. Good, and holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Excellent. Okay, now, warrior 3. So we've done warrior 1 and warrior 2. Warrior 3 is a little bit trickier because we're coming into a balance now. Okay, so we really have to focus. And remember, when we're balancing, we look at something in front of us to help us with that balance. So remember to fix your gaze maybe on a picture on the wall in front of you, or a window, or a switch, a light switch. Have a go at looking at something that's not moving, that's still, to help you balance. Okay, so warrior 3, we're going to take a big step forward with the one leg, and we're going to bring our back leg off the mat and our arms are out straight. Okay, good. So the more you bend forwards, the higher your back leg hopefully will come. But it doesn't matter how high your back leg is, it might just be here. And that's still great. Okay, so we're going to bring our arms out in front of us first. Good, and then we're going to send them to the side of us. You might want to keep them here. You might want to hold them out. If you really need help with that balance, or you might want to send them back. Good, holding it for 3, 2, 1, excellent, and relax. And try and keep that standing leg straight. Okay, so we're going to take it on the other side. We're going to take a big step forward with our other leg. We're going to bring our back leg off the mat, and either our arms are maybe out in front of us, or maybe behind us. Good, and point your back foot if you can. Good, holding it here for 5, 4, don't worry if you wobble out of it, just have another go. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Fantastic job. That is a really hard pose. So remember, if you find it hard to begin with, we just keep practicing it, and the more we practice, the better we get at it. Okay, our next pose is an animal that you would find in the sea, and it's crab pose. So for crab pose, we're coming onto our bottoms with our hands beside us, and we're using our feet and hands to balance on. So we're going to push our bottoms up. Good. We're going to try and get that tummy nice and high, a bit like a tabletop. So we're trying not to drop it. Good, we're going to keep it high, and we're going to balance here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Excellent job. Okay, now here comes our most challenging pose of the session. We're going to have a go at bow pose. Okay, so I want you to watch carefully and then try this at home or at school or wherever you are doing your yoga. So I want you to think back to a few sessions a couple of weeks ago where we had a go at Cobra. And when we do our sun sequence, we come into Cobra. So you might use Cobra to start with in this pose. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our hands and we're going to grab hold of our foot, of our ankle, and pull our feet gently in towards us as we rise and lift our chest off the mat. Okay, so grab your feet, and then when you're ready, coming up, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now that one, I don't know about you, but I find really tricky. So we're going to have one more go at it. The aim is for you to bring your chest just slightly off the floor and your feet as well. But you might just hold it for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then relax out of it. Make sure you don't do it to a point where you're hurting. Okay, because we want to pull and stretch our muscles a little bit in yoga, but we don't want to hurt ourselves. Okay, so we're going to have another go. So we're coming into Cobra first, and then we're going to take hold of our feet. Okay, and up we go. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Fantastic. Great job, everybody. Okay, so we've done lots of stretching and balancing, and now it's time for our yoga game. Now our yoga game today is called Yoga Pretzels, and you guys are going to come up with your own yoga moves. You're going to be creating your own moves in this game, because what's going to happen is I'm going to call out different parts of your body that I want you to use to touch the mat. And then you've got to come up with a shape that you can make your body into, a yoga pose, with only those parts of your body touching the mat. So for example, I might say backs, and that means you'd only be able to have your back touching the mat. Okay, so you might come up with a pose where it's just your back touching the mat. Okay, no other part of you is allowed to touch it. Okay, so you've got to really think creatively today. Okay, so when you're ready, starting on your mats or wherever you are on the floor. Okay, first of all, can you make a pose using only your stomachs touching the mats? Go, have a go, have a think. While you're thinking at home, I'm going to think in my studio here, a pose that only uses stomachs on the mat. Good, see if you can hold it. So maybe you're doing something like I'm doing. Maybe your hands are out in front of you. Good. Okay, this time, can you come up with a pose where it's just your bottoms touching the mats? Go. Have a think. Is yours going to be similar to mine? Okay, so I'm doing one that we call in yoga boat. Maybe your legs are straight. Good, so maybe your yoga pose is similar to mine. Maybe it's a little bit different. Good, so if you can hold it, nice and still, thinking about your balance and your strength. Okay, fantastic. This time, I'd like you to come up with a pose where you use your right hand, this side, and your left foot, this side, okay? Right hand, left foot, only those parts touching the mats. Go. So have a think. Is yours going to be similar to mine or different? Okay, right hand and left foot. Maybe you're here. Maybe your arm is out to the side. Good. See if you can hold your pose. Excellent work, and relax. I really had to think about that one. I had to think about which side of my body I was using. So I had to think about my coordination carefully. Okay, this time I'd like you to create a pose using both hands and both feet touching the mat. Go. There's a couple of options I'm thinking here. I could do for this one with my hands and feet something like frog, because I've got my hands and feet in this pose touching the mat. I could do something like our animal dog that we use in our sun sequence, because that has my hands and feet touching. You're just holding it here. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Okay, this time I'd like you to create a pose like I showed you in the example at the beginning, where just your back is touching the mat. Go. Just your backs. So I'm going to do something that we call in yoga candle. So you might be here, maybe your head's off the mat. Good, and holding it here. Excellent, and relax. Okay, so time for us to move on to our relaxation, to bring our heart rates down and bring our bodies to a still. And today we're going to finish with some mindfulness. So when we talk about mindfulness, we're talking about focusing on and bringing all of our attention and thinking to the present moment, to what's happening right here, right now. So trying not to let our mind wander and think about what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow or at the weekend. We're trying just to focus on enjoying the moment here now. And we're going to use all of our senses and awaken all of our senses. So we're going to be thinking about our sight and our hearing and our smell and our touch and our taste to our mindfulness activity today. And like I said at the beginning of the session, we're going to do some mindfulness eating. Okay, so you will need to go and grab something small to eat. So something like a piece of fruit, a grape, or a tomato, or a raisin, or a piece of chocolate, or a little biscuit, something small that you can use for our mindfulness eating today. So I've got a little piece of chocolate here that you can see. Okay. So we're going to come into that good sitting pose and just bring our bodies to a still. And I want you, with your piece of food, to have a really good look at it first. So we're going to use our sight, the sense of seeing, and we're going to have a look. Maybe it's got some marks on it. Have a look at the colour. Has it got any cracks in it? My chocolate's a little bit cracked. I'm also feeling it. I'm using my sense of touch as I'm looking, and I'm feeling over any bumps. It's quite smooth, so maybe you could describe what you can feel and see while you're doing this. Mine's got a flat bottom and a kind of raised top. It's kind of like a little ball shape, and I'm going to give it a smell. So mine smells really sweet and obviously quite chocolatey. It's a dark chocolate, so it's quite rich around the edge. Now, I want you to take a little bite of it. And before you swallow it, give it a little chew. And I want you to think about how it tastes. What flavours can you taste? I can taste orange in mine because mine's an orange flavour. What's the texture of the inside like? Mine is spongy and it's got a hard shell. So describe and think about the texture, how it tastes. And this time, when you put the rest of it in, I want you to chew it really slowly and mindfully, really thinking about all of the sensations that you can feel on your tongue and in your throat as you eat it. Okay, so when we eat mindfully, we slow down the process of eating and we bring in all of our senses, just like we did then. And it means that we're really enjoying the present moment. Hopefully you didn't have a chance to think about anything else because you were concentrating so much on eating mindfully and what you were eating. And it's also really good for our digestion and our stomachs to eat mindfully. It helps that process of breaking the food down. Hopefully we don't get as many tummy aches if we eat mindfully. So it's really good for our physical health, eating mindfully, as well as our emotional and mental health, being more mindful and being more present and enjoying the very moment that you're in as much as you can. Okay, so we're just going to finish with a big deep breath in as we rise our arms up. And bring your hands together, and as you breathe out, bring them down to your heart space. And I'm going to finish with a namaste. Excellent work. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I hope you enjoyed our session, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.